had been a large gathering. Everyone brought their most decadent dishes, and after stuffing themselves to the gills, they lounged in front of the big screen TV and watched football, turned up real loud, and they nibbled on snacks and gulped beer. After all, what's football without snacks and beer? The yelling crowd and the sportscasters kept them from having to talk with each other, which is what everyone wanted. They could say they had a good time with family and friends without actually having to interact with them meaningfully. They could even convince themselves they had a good time. After all, isn't that what Thanksgiving is about? Turkey and TV, loud TV. Since everyone prepared way too much food, leftovers were plentiful. They all took plastic containers of decadent dishes home with them, and the refrigerator was still packed full. Everyone was going to be busy eating and eating for the next few days, working hard to eat everything up before it went bad, as was the tradition. With the big hubbub over, everyone left, and as they left, they felt a palpable wave of sadness wash over them. They felt, sort of let down. Turkey Day was always like that. It was always less than it promised to be. Even with the TV blaring, people managed to bicker and grumble. What did they have to be thankful for? Certainly not Thanksgiving. Maybe next year will be better. It was just the two of them inside the house now. He was snoring on the couch, and she was turning the day over in her mind, thinking, another successful Thanksgiving. She had cooked the turkey inside a paper grocery bag. The turkey was stuffed with brown sugar and doused liberally with Coca-Cola, the way she did every year. It was a method she had read about years ago in a magazine. And she had made 2 pans of dressing to go with it, oyster dressing and cornbread dressing, with giblet gravy. Plus, she had bought a cured ham that she doctored up with more brown sugar and Coca-Cola. Guests brought candied yams topped with marshmallows, pies galore, apple, pumpkin, chocolate, and coconut cream pie too, piled high with meringue. They had Cherry Delight, a chilled layer dessert made with a crushed graham cracker crust, topped with alternating layers of canned cherries and Cool Whip. In addition to that, they had Heavenly Hash, a concoction made with canned fruit cocktail, canned pineapple, Cool Whip, and coconut flakes. And of course, what would Thanksgiving be without her famous vanilla pudding? It was another recipe from a magazine. It consisted of layers of Nilla wafers smothered in vanilla pudding and refrigerated, a sort of fast and easy bread pudding. She had opened some cans of corn and green beans, too, so people could feel as though they were eating something healthy. And she cut wedges of iceberg lettuce, which she served with dollops of Miracle Whip. All in all, an excellent meal, she thought. They went to bed early, but she woke up around midnight, hungry again. So she went to the kitchen and served herself up a little mountain of food, along with a selection of desserts on the side. As she ate, she thought of how her sister had refused to come, saying, "If I were to eat the way you eat, I would be the size of a house." Her sister had made some comment about organic food being more nutritious and sating. But she thought, how am I to feed a house full of people paying for organic food? Anyway, it galled her. She felt her stomach aching and aching as she ate, but it was just so tasty, she simply had to keep eating. She ignored the growing discomfort of her body. After all, Eating was pretty much all she enjoyed anymore. She and her husband had long ago stopped having sex. He couldn't get it up anymore. Not that she ever cared much for being banged anyway, but at least it was something, that made her feel attractive, maybe. Now she just got fatter and fatter. She had given up on losing weight. It was a losing battle, and eating was her only comfort, although it never seemed to be enough. She had read in a magazine recently how uncircumcised men have a better sexual experience than circumcised men do, and they can't pound away at you. They would hurt themselves if they did. As she took a bite of heavenly hash, she wished her husband had not been circumcised. In the morning, her husband found her, still sitting at the table, or rather, slumped over at the table, with an eating utensil in each hand, and her face in her food. Propping her lifeless body up, he noticed her gown was wet and bloody. Her stomach had exploded. He had teased her about that countless times, his ongoing joke. One of these days, he had told her, you are going to eat until your stomach explodes. And he remembered she had laughed and laughed at that.